We're having a woo and a yeah competition over here. Everyone who just clicked on this video on the internet, it's like, ugh, turning my volume down. I was not expecting that. We're live in New York City, as you can probably tell. I'm Kevin Kenny. This is the Build series. And our guest today has accomplished quite a bit at just 21 years of age. Has already won American Idol. Just released her debut album, Whirlwind. And now officially guest starred on the Build series, which is also a pretty big deal. Please give it up for Maddie Poppe. Are you used to that yet? That's wild.
It's so cool. I feel like I'm on the Ellen show.
Yeah. Can we get a shot on one of these cameras of you have like a personal cheering session? Guys, stand up because your shirts are awesome. We have all different colors, maddiepoppe.com. Nice plug for the website right
thanks.
there. There you go. And then this is really cool. This is the album artwork on the end here. Guys, what's your names? Where are you from? Pass the mic down.
I'm Sophia, and I'm from Long Island.
Okay.
I'm Logan. I'm from Connecticut.
I'm Caitlin, and I'm originally from Connecticut, but I live in Louisiana.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Kaden, and I'm from Connecticut.
Oh, wow. Connecticut, Louisiana, and Long Island? Right on. That's really cool. Hey, let's actually kick off with, you guys can sit down. Relax. We got a long show. Sorry to inconvenience you. Let's talk about what's on our friend's t-shirt over here and then also up on the big screen because this is the debut album. It came out in May. And I just love the artwork here. And can you kind of take me through it? You were telling me a really cool story about the artist behind it.
Yeah, so, you know, a lot of times on Instagram, you'll get tagged in photos and it'll be, you know, a drawing of you or a painting of you. And all these paintings were coming in and they were just so cool. And a lot of them did look like, I mean, sometimes you get some that are like, this doesn't look like me, you know, but like a lot of times, like this one came in, not this, but he had painted a picture of me and Kermit the Frog singing a duet together. And I saw it and I was like, he painted my face so well, like it actually looked like me. So I hit him up and he's a 16-year-old from Oregon.
No way.
And I just messaged him on Instagram and we designed this whole thing just through Instagram DMs. Wow. And I said, hey, I had this picture. And I said, you know, we kind of went back and forth. He came up with this mouth rainbow thing. And then I said, I think I wanted to incorporate an item from each song on the front. And that's my handwriting, Maddie Poppe up there.
Oh, wow.
And then I designed like the text, and that's me too, writing to Maddie right there.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, he did such a great job. I mean, for a 16-year-old, I was just so impressed, and it was really cool, you know, for both of us. And I hope that I can work with him again on the next one. You know, we've talked about doing other stuff like merchandise and posters and stuff. So.
I always like when artists have like a sort of a cohesive look or aesthetic to an album. So it's cool if you guys did collaborate on more stuff, whether it's single artwork or what have you.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
I was so happy. I'm such a perfectionist and I'm so picky, but he came back with this. I mean, there wasn't too many edits. I was wearing different shoes. I asked for the Converse, but that's about it.
What was the Kermit thing about? Is that something that happened in real life? Or
So on American Idol, I had auditioned with the Rainbow Connection.
Okay.
It's like a Muppet song. And at the end of in the finale, we had celebrity duets. And for the longest time, they were telling other people, like one girl had Luke Bryan, Caleb had Darius Rucker, you know, real humans and stuff.
I was going to say all famous Muppets.
Yeah. And so then I was asking the producers, I was like, who's mine? I want to know so bad. And they're like, we can't tell you. But they kept giving me hints, and I was like, who could it be? I was just trying to think, who would be up my alley? I'm like, I kept trying to think of who my partner could be. And finally, they told me it was Kermit the Frog. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Dream come true.
It was so cool for me. It was funny though, because online I was reading some comments and people were like, how dare you put her with a puppet? That's so insulting. She doesn't get a real human. And I was like, okay, I got to say something. I was like, first of all, I think it was so cool because it was like not serious. I just got to like be myself and have fun up there. Not only that, but the producers told me he was the most expensive celebrity to get.
Oh, really?
So that's pretty cool, right?
I wonder what was in Kermit's rider backstage.
Yeah,
what did Kermit need in his green room, right?
He's sacred, though. They keep him under a black tarp.
Right.
Until he's ready to perform.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's like crazy.
He's like a method actor.
I was afraid to even like, people were like, why didn't you shake his hand or give him a hug? And I was like, I didn't want to lay a finger on him because I was just like, You know, what if they said, oh, you know, now this one's no good. We have to make a new Kermit or something.
Well, in all seriousness, what is it like as a live performer performing with a Muppet?
You know, it was I mean, it was just more fun than anything because no one was taking it seriously.
Yeah.
No one was like, man, those harmonies have to be tight. They were just kind of watching like, oh, it's like a fun little puppet show and Maddie's singing along. And it was a lot of fun. It was hard to kind of get the timing right though, because I mean, I think we're all of age that we all know how puppets work. There was a man behind, you know, and so I was trying to kind of look at him and figure out the timing and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Behind every great puppet.
you know, behind every puppet there's two grown men. One was controlling the banjo. I hope that they don't see this, but don't tell them I told you, but it's pretty interesting to watch
Miss
it.
Piggy's going to be in your DMs. You know what I like about the cover is that it's kind of old school, and I heard you say that you kind of gravitate more towards old school music than necessarily new music. Not that you don't like new music, but what is it about those old records and maybe those older artists from the 90s per se that you really resonate with?
Yeah, that's cool that you picked that up because I wanted it to look like vintage. We did this sort of like, what do you call that? It's like not a white, but it's like an off-white.
Cream?
Kind of looks like it was like in a water.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and anyways, yeah, I don't know. There's something about old school music and bringing it back. I think my audience is a lot of families, and I mean that's who watches American Idol, you know, and I like to play, you know, it worked out for me because I like to play to my audience, but also I enjoy that kind of music. I just like bringing old stuff back and giving it a twist. And also, I don't think that, I think, yes, that music was appreciated in its time, but I think that music needs to continue to live on because...
What about that music?
Oh, man, just the songwriting and the real musicianship behind it. You know, it's just like, it's not done on a computer. And I have such an appreciation for that also because that takes talent, you know, but to actually listen to some of these records and know that, okay, this person sat down and played this thing all the way through and sang every harmony all the way through and didn't have auto-tune and didn't have pitch correcting and couldn't just move a note, you know, to change it if they screwed it up. I mean, have you ever watched a really cool movie is that Beach Boys movie? There's several of them, but they show how they did these songs, and that's some of the most complex music ever. And if you just watch how they did it behind the scenes, it's so fascinating to see, you know, how it used to be and compared to what we do now. And, you know, I don't think the Beach Boys music, I have such an appreciation for them because I think even with all of our technology today, I don't think that stuff can be recreated in a way that like Brian Wilson came up with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there was just such a, I don't know. It's just, it's really cool to watch, you know, just someone have that kind of talent and capability.
Oh, yeah. I also would imagine, not that I'm an artist, but I'd imagine as an artist, it's tough to get to know songs if you produce them in a modern way where you're emailing back and forth and you're recording the back half first and the first half maybe later on. And then you're expected to play that song live on a tour and you're just like, oh, man, I've never done it this way, straight through.
That's a great point. And that's really hard. And that's something that I have really tried to stay away from is playing with tracks.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know, tracks is when, you know, there's pretty much somebody presses a button and the music, it's like karaoke.
It's the instrumental almost.
Yes, it's the instrumental, or there's just like an extra part that's not on the stage. And they always say, you know, it saves you money because you don't have to hire as many musicians, but there's just something about being able to like stop the song in the middle of the song and say something to somebody in the crowd, or, you know, just, I have such an appreciation, and I always have, for, you know, people always say like, oh, the audience won't tell the difference, but they can.
Oh, dude, you can always tell the difference.
They so can, and I think people don't realize that, like, people can pick up on that, and, you know, even before I was kind of in this industry, I remember watching, at 12 years old, a band, and I could tell, oh, there's not a keyboard up there. There's not a bass player. You know, you'd hear sounds that you can't see.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I really want to always try and stay away from. You know, as much as I know it's so helpful and, you know, it helps a lot of people out and it makes the sound so much fuller. I think it just, I don't know. There's
Yeah.
something about just real music, and
Yeah.
if you have the talent, I've met so many people that are so talented. I'm like, I don't want to overshadow them with tracks because this guy's the best guitar player I've ever met.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's how I feel about tracks.
Yeah. No, you mentioned your Idol audition before, and that happened in New York.
Yeah.
Is that true? Where in New York
Yes.
did that happen?
Well, where are we at right now? Are we close to Madison Square Garden?
Not too far.
See, I don't.
A bit uptown,
I,
but yeah.
I don't know this.
Yeah, we're
But-
4th and Broadway. That's probably like 34th and Broadway.
Oh, okay.
It's a good workout. For
Okay, a good 3 hours away. No. Yeah, I had actually wanted to. I was going to audition in Nashville, and the producers said, "We really want you to help kick off our auditions in New York. So we'll fly you and your fam." Or no, they didn't fly my family. I take that back. That was expensive. No, they said, we'll fly you to New York and, let you stay here if you audition in New York. And I was like, heck yeah. And
Ever been in New York?
I had been there one other time, just for fun with my mom.
Right.
And so they said, we'll fly out. And I was like, that's got to be a good sign, right? So yeah, I came out here and did my audition, and I was the 4th person ever of the season to audition. And the first 3 people had all gotten golden tickets. And so I remember thinking,
And you're seeing them come out
and I'm
with
seeing
the
them
tickets.
come out celebrating, and you can't hear them at all. But they all, they all had a look to them, and they all came out and were ecstatic about this golden ticket. And I remember thinking, there's no way that they're going to give 4 tickets out in a row. They can't.
It's like taking a
afford to do
test.
that.
When you get like 3 C's in a row and it's
Yes.
multiple choice, you're like the 4th can't be a C.
Yeah, I was like, exactly. I was like, there's no way. That's not going to happen. They can't afford to give four golden tickets out right away. And so I went in and I was just like, whatever happens. I remember I couldn't hear myself at all singing in that big room.
Because of nerves?
No, it was really hard to hear in that room.
Okay. Because this isn't on. Wait, is this with like the celebrity judges?
Yes.
Okay, this is with the.
Yes.
Okay.
This
Who were
is-
you most starstruck by when you looked across the room?
Oh, Katy Perry.
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Because Luke, I don't know why, but right away he just seemed like a dad from the Midwest.
Well, he just
you
looked
know?
like a dude. I feel like
yeah.
there's a lot of people that
Oh,
look
yeah.
like Luke Bryan. I don't know if any. Like, I mean,
Totally.
Like, it's just so undeniably Katy Perry across from you.
Yes, and Katy Perry was in all this sparkling, all these, and she was just staring at me, and I was just like, how is this happening right now? This is just crazy. And, and at the end, Lionel had said stuff like, there's not a lot of music like this, and he kind of made it sound negative at first, like, there's not going to be a lot of people like this in the competition, and this kind of music isn't what we're used to or whatever. But then he flipped it in the end, and he's like, that's what's going to break through. And so they sent me through with 3 yeses, and it was just like, I've never felt anything like that.
Wow.
It was so cool.
Is this a nod to Lionel? Hello?
I was like,
Is it
'cause
you?
he's old?
No. Hello, is it you I'm looking for?
No, but it should be.
There you go.
I should have.
Who do you still talk to out of the judges? Like, you ever hear from them like sporadically, like from time to time?
Katie. Katie messages me every once in a while,
That's
and
cool.
actually gave me some good advice of a book I was talking with her about, issues with this and that, and just getting her advice, and she told me I should pick up this book and stuff. But I actually just remembered something funny about my audition that I'd never shared with anybody. After I left the room, Ryan Seacrest wasn't there. So they called me back over about 5 hours later after the emotions, like, I'm not like on top of the world. I mean, they're like, hey, we need you to act this out again. We need you to act like, you just got this golden ticket because Ryan's back. And I was like, are you kidding me? How do I
Where was
fake
Ryan the first time?
Who knows? Not doing his job.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I'm going on their show tomorrow. So like, I can't.
Be sure to roll this clip.
I'm kidding. Ryan is the best guy. I mean, he's so busy. He's all over the world,
Right.
and he's never in a bad mood. I don't know how he does it. But anyways, I came out, and this was my first time meeting Ryan Seacrest, and they're like, okay, fake it. Like, act like you just got this ticket.
Right.
And I am so awkward. Like, I can't fake that. I can't, like, so I came out, and I just remember being so corny, like, yay! my mom and dad were like, "That was terrible. I hope they don't use that take."
We've got to go back now and watch and just know that.
Well,
They're, like,
no,
totally...
they used the first one.
Oh, they
didn't
did use
it. It was so bad that they didn't use
What did
it.
they like CGI Seacrest in?
No, they didn't even have him in. They just had me. At first, I like psyched my parents out. I opened the door and I acted, and this was so mean of me because my family and I I've heard so many no's in the music industry, like just gotten turned down over and over and over, and so finally getting a yes, of course, it was mean because I'm just like another letdown. But I opened the door and I just acted like I didn't get the ticket, and then they were just, oh my gosh, my dad they just looked so devastated. I was like, I can't do this. And I just, I pulled it from behind my back.
Should have strung it out, got like free dinner. They could have taken like a shopping spree.
Your parents give you whatever you want if you're heartbroken. I got dumped in a McDonald's once and I came home.
In a McDonald's?
Yes.
Did you know beforehand?
He said, let's meet at McDonald's. Like, we need to talk.
Okay.
And I show up and he broke up with me at McDonald's, so I'm bawling. And I didn't even get a meal or anything.
Wow. He did it before you ordered.
Yeah, before I ordered. And so I'm bawling my eyes out. I leave.
Are you crying inside the McDonald's?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my God. Imagine working that McDonald's shift, just being like, oh, that looks like a fight over there. Oh my God, she's crying. Oh no. Is that the girl from American Idol?
This was way before American Idol. Way before. This was 2015. So anyway, I get in my car and I go home and I was looking, I was in my dad's car actually, and I was looking for a new car because, I don't know, something happened to my old car. And as soon as I got home, my parents are like, oh, did he break up with you? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, do you want to go car shopping? And I was like, yeah. Because I'm just saying, you get anything you want from your parents.
Yeah,
when
totally.
you're like upset.
I would have hid that golden
That's the
ticket for
only-
weeks. I would have gotten a fall wardrobe off that ticket. Oh, by the way, I got to go to Hollywood in a couple days.
Oh, yeah. That's the only benefit of like being heartbroken is your
Yeah.
parents just, it just devastates.
Well, and the songs you get to write about it that wind up on records like your debut.
That's true.
Right.
I wrote a song about the McDonald's boy.
Did you
But that was
really?
on my other album that I made with my dad
Oh,
back
really?
home. Yeah.
Did you call it Burger King?
Oh, no, I was on a radio show though and they said, I told them a story and they said, oh, he sounds like a McChicken.
Oh.
And so he changed his name on Twitter to McChicken and
Oh,
then
wow.
his last name.
Now he's going to have a budding career because of you.
I'm kidding.
I look forward to his mixtape. Let's get to your first Twitter question. It comes from @Mad4MadPop. Are they here? Sometimes the fans are here. No, okay. This comes from someone outside. Would you rather not be able to talk for a day or not be able to sing for a week?
Okay, first of all, I have to call something out here. I always thought in these mugs it was coffee, no matter what time of day. But do they always put water in it? It's nice.
No, sometimes we have guests that put adult beverages in there.
Really?
Yeah, and sometimes we have guests that put too much adult beverage in there.
I always
And
thought
we
it
have
was
to end builds early. Yeah.
I don't know why. I just figured in a coffee cup.
I think it's kind of like your call. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, anyways, I appreciate the
Yeah,
water. Thank
water.
you. Would I rather not be able to talk for a day or not be able to sing for a week? Well, I'm sure I've gone a week in my life without singing. I'm sure I have.
Vocal rest, right?
No, just because I'm lazy.
Oh, okay. That too.
Like I'll be home for a week and I'll just be like, I'm not gonna do anything but just sleep and like hang out with my family. So I'm sure there's probably been a week that I wouldn't sing. But it depends. Is it in an important week?
Tell us, Mad for Mad Pop.
I don't know.
it?
I would say not sing for a week because
Okay.
talking is. I've tried to go like an hour without talking and I just can't.
Yeah,
There's too many
I
things
can't do
you
it
have
either.
to say.
Yeah, I had a really bad sore throat a couple weeks ago, and it was like the hardest because it hurt to talk. You ever have that?
Yes.
But I'm a chatterbox, so it's.
I am
tough.
too. I am too.
It's tough out here. All right, let's get to the first fan in studio question. It'll come from over here. What's your name, man?
My name is Dennis. Hi, Maddie. I'm really huge your fan from Kazakhstan. I have a couple of questions for you. What is your advices for future contestant of American Idol? Because I know it's really hard to go through.
For sure. Yes. We took a picture outside earlier, me and him, so we go way back.
He's a singer. You're a singer, right?
I beginner a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, nice. So you're looking for advice for you.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Thank you.
That's fine. That's fine. My advice would be, it sounds really cliche, but I never can think of anything else to say to answer this question besides just be true to yourself and be you because, I always thought if they would have changed me to be something I'm not on American Idol, or, because producers try to push you in all sorts of, they want you to do this, or and if you go down, if you get voted off singing something you weren't 100% behind, I feel like that's going to be such a regret, for the rest of your life. And not only that, but if you win the show, I can't imagine being somebody, like having to pretend I was somebody else and then having to continue who America fell in love with on the show after the show, if that makes sense. And also, I think just there's a lot of stresses on the show, and you go through a lot, it's like pretty tolling. So I would say, you want to be happy while you're going through it. You want to be you.
You used to stress out a lot when they would take away your guitar, right?
Yeah.
You didn't know what to do.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you really did your research.
Yeah. No, but you love the guitar. Well, so that's interesting as a performer, because people might not think about that. Is like you have these sort of safety blankets, if you will, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. And I only played guitar, and so when they, when I finally was like, they didn't actually air it. It must have been really bad. It was top 50
Just
performance.
picturing like Ricky Bobby hands.
I know. I was like, I was just pretending like I knew what I was doing, but I know it looked awkward. But
It's a
it was
really tight shot.
yeah. It was my first time without my guitar, and ooh, yeah, I don't like that. Yeah. I don't like that. First of all, because I get really out of breath when you have to sing and run around the stage. I can't do that. And like, so standing still is really nice.
Well, no, people don't understand when you're on camera, and especially like I love build because we're kind of sitting down, so like we can just put our hands here, or just whatever. But like if you're standing up, and I'm holding the mic like this on TV, I never know what to like do with this hand, and I'm always putting it in my pocket, but then that looks stupid. It's like, so I feel you on the hands thing.
And since you're a guy, like girls cross their legs most of the time,
Right?
But I feel like it might look.
Should
weird.
I do that?
It might look weird.
I
You
think
know
it
what though?
looks
You
weird.
kind of look like
This looks
Ryan
weird.
Seacrest when you do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So maybe go with that.
Ryan, what do you think?
Actually, you know what? You looked cooler like this. You
I
look
know, I
cooler
think
like
so,
this.
too.
I'm sorry.
Ryan Seacrest, I am not. All right, let's get to your fan club over here. Can we get a round of applause for these guys? I think this is so cool. All these great T-shirts. Let's kick off with our friend from Long Island.
Okay. Hey, Maddie. Sorry. Chicken strips or cheese curds?
Listen, I got to tell you a little backstory on this girl.
Okay.
I met her at the American Idol tour, and she has a fan page called Maddie Poppe's Chicken Strips. Because before American Idol on Twitter, my name, I don't know why, me and my sister thought it'd be hilarious if I changed my name to Chicken Strip 44, which is so stupid.
Where, on Twitter?
On Twitter. It doesn't make any sense. And so when I got to American Idol, they said, you really should change your name to Maddie Poppe so people can find you. And I was like, what? I can't get rid of this. And so Sophia kept on the, whatever you call it. She kept on the fan name.
Oh, nice.
So
Chicken
she,
strips.
Or the Poppy Posse?
The Poppy Posse.
yeah, but
I like that.
she's Maddie Poppe's Chicken Strips on socials.
Do you have a fandom name?
You know what?
Not into
American
it?
Idol producers, they said, you got to come up with a fan name. And I said, that's so cocky. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't.
It's
not
weird
gonna
when you
name
name them. I think the
I
fans should
know.
name themselves.
I was like, I'm not gonna name them before I even know if I have fans. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know the artist Poppy, who's very different than?
I've heard of her.
Okay.
Yes.
She was on Build, and well, she claims she's a robot. I don't know if you know about that whole gimmick, but her fans are called the Poppy Seeds.
Oh,
Which just
well, we
makes-
can't use that
No,
now.
it's taken.
Something new.
Some people use that, but chicken strips or cheese curds?
Oh yeah, back to the question.
I am a sucker for cheese curds.
Wow.
So I'm sorry. Yeah, I changed my name to chicken strips. Now everyone thinks I'm obsessed with chicken strips, but I'm not.
Am I an idiot that I don't know what is a cheese curd?
No, a lot of people don't.
Yeah, what?
A lot of people don't.
Sophia is so offended by that.
It's like I'm about to say a really gross word. Chunk.
That's what I'm picturing, dude.
It's a
You're choosing that
chunk-
over chicken?
It's a chunk of cheese. Oh, that's so gross. I hate that word. Anyways, it's a little piece of cheese, and it's so good. But what they do is they deep fry it.
Oh.
And so,
Okay.
what do they call it? Cheese balls? Otherwise.
Oh, okay. I know what cheese balls are.
Yeah. But like, yeah.
Okay.
They're so
That over
good.
chicken strips.
Yes, because chicken strips aren't. I mean, cheese curds are consistently good. You're not going to have a bad one.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it's
fair.
like Mexican food.
Yeah.
You're not going to have bad Mexican food,
Right.
right? I mean, it may make you sick,
Yeah.
I
But
get
while it's
sick a
happening,
lot,
it's amazing.
but it's so good.
Yeah. Where do you guys fall on that? Chicken strips or cheese curds?
I've never had a cheese curd.
Have you had a cheese ball though?
Never had a cheese curd.
Yeah.
I like
Alright.
cheese curds, but like chicken strips.
You never partook in the cheese curding. Okay.
I
That's
love cheese curds, but like Maddie Poppe's chicken chips, so chicken chips takes the win for me.
there you go.
Has to.
I'm glad we had this talk.
Right.
Let's get to the next one. What's your name, man, again?
Logan.
Awesome. What's your question for Maddie?
Hi, Maddie.
Hi, it's good to see you again. I just saw you like last week.
Uh-huh.
They came to my North Carolina show.
Wow.
When did you want to become a musician?
Oh man, I always grew up around music. My dad was always a musician. He was always in bands. And I said, I really want a guitar. I was in 3rd grade. They got me a guitar and I played it for a day and it was too hard, so I put it down. And when it was probably 7 or 8 years later, I think, I had picked up the guitar again just to learn one song. I wanted to learn The House That Built Me by Miranda Lambert. And instead of learning that song, I learned every other song ever. And I never ended up learning that song. But a songwriter I was writing with asked me, he asked me that same question. He said, how'd you start? I said, I wanted to learn The House That Built Me by Miranda Lambert. And he said, what? He said, I wrote that song. I was like, what? So I was telling this story to the guy who wrote that song. And later that day, we wrote the song, Nothing Good Comes Out of California.
Now, when you wrote that song, you said that the stereotypes are not true in LA. And I've got to figure out what neighborhoods you're hanging out in because every time I'm in LA, I'm just surrounded by stereotypes, I feel like.
You know what? I think, when I was just there for a few days, I kind of thought the same thing. But once I found my people and once I was there for a while, I was
Right.
like, you know what? Everyone says, I hate LA, but I really like it. And so,
That's great.
he came up with that. His name's Tom Douglas. He came up with that idea. He said, what do you think of, this about everyone saying, we hate LA. We would never move there. What if you just write a song about, you say nothing good comes out of California, but like you've not experienced, everything.
Yeah, it's a love letter to Los Angeles,
Yeah,
right?
and everyone thinks by the title. I think it's great clickbait because I think everyone thinks, "Oh my gosh, this is a diss track on LA." And so because some people at first were like, "Why would you write a song like that?" I was like, "You didn't listen, did you?"
Yeah. Now we need in all those like Visit California ads. You know what I mean? That's a
Yeah.
little commercial spot.
Exactly.
You know what I want to ask you? You're talking about like influences and playing the guitar. You always talk about how when you were young you played or you listened to "Sweet Child of Mine." Was that the Sheryl Crow version or the Guns N' Roses version? Do you remember?
You know what? There was a singer in my dad's band, and she sang. I feel like it was like a mix of both.
Okay.
It was neither one, but
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of I think I sang that. That's on Wikipedia, and so a lot of people ask me about that, but really, I think I only sang it with my dad's band
You're
like
like, what?
once or twice, and everyone's like, "So you grew up on Sweet Child of Mine?" And I'm like, I just got to be honest.
Yeah.
I sang it maybe a couple times, but I don't know why that got picked up online, but
Yeah.
it did.
It's in a lot of
Some
stuff.
other stuff did too. Some said I'm worth $3 million. I was like, where's that money? And it was like, Maddie is 110 pounds. I was like, thank you.
We have more questions from the fan club, right? All right, cool.
From the fan club.
Awesome. What's your name, man?
I'm Caden.
Caden, what's your question?
Where's Caleb at?
He is in Nashville right now. I just saw him like a week ago, but I won't get to see him for probably 3 more weeks or so. I'm not sure yet, but he's hanging out in Nashville, writing songs and everything, and yeah, that's all I got.
Nice.
Yeah.
You moved to Nashville?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. And where are you living now? LA?
All my stuff is still at my parents' house in Iowa. Like
Okay.
I haven't really even had time to move.
Clarksville?
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't really even had time to move, and I really don't want to buy a place because I'm just like, I don't want to pour my money into somewhere just to hold my stuff there because
Yeah.
I'm never home, and when I am home, I want to be with my family. So I'm gonna mooch off my parents for a couple more years.
I was shocked because I'm from a really small town, 4,000 people, 1 square mile in New Jersey, but you're from a town of 1,500 people?
Yeah.
You graduated with like 22 people?
Yeah. How big was your class?
like 75.
Yeah, that's pretty small.
Yeah. But dude, 22 people, like how do you even date growing up?
You just pick. You're just like, well, which one of you? Like,
It's not going to dump me into McDonald's.
yeah. No, I mean, that's funny you say that because I grew up with so many people that were similar to like Caleb. They were like kind of country boys, kind of wore the country boots and the hat and stuff. And so I was like, I don't want to date that kind of person because that's all the guys I grew up with. And don't get me wrong, I grew up with very nice guys, but I wanted like a hipster skater boy. So I was out looking for a skater boy.
Hanging out at skate parks.
And then
binoculars. He'll do.
And then Caleb walks up with his country boots. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would never say this is my type of person.
Right.
But we're best friends.
That's awesome.
And dating.
Was there something refreshing, though, about just being in such an unfamiliar environment like a television show like American Idol and having maybe a touch of home in Caleb?
For sure. I actually was talking with my manager about this. You know, I don't think about this too often, but she brought it to my attention that, you know, I got to go through this all with Caleb, you know, first and second place. And he's seen everything since. He's known everything that's gone on since, issues that have happened, you know, every up and down along the way. And I think about, you know, Lane Hardy had just won this past season. And he really, you know, he does, I mean, I'm sure he has friends on the show, but he's not like dating best friends, always, you know, have somebody by his side that has gone through everything and been along for the whole thing with him because I guess I'm the closest that person that could probably relate because just I know everything he's going through right now and I've been there, but it has been so nice to have Caleb along the way. Just you know, he gets it. I think it would be so hard to start dating somebody else because it's just I don't know how I would explain everything that's happened in the past couple
Well, you get
years.
to that point in a relationship, right? Where you're like, oh my God, I would have to start all the way
I
over.
can't
And I have to,
imagine. How do I explain all the relationships I've made in LA and everything and that's going on in my life? I don't know how I'd tell
That's
it.
crazy.
Yeah.
Kate, how do you ask that, by the way? Did you say where Caleb at? Better watch out, man. You want beef with Caleb. You might see this. Where Caleb at?
I want to talk.
Do we have any more fan questions? No, we do not. Okay, well, you guys did a great job, everybody who asked. And we're unfortunately out of time here, Maddie. But thank you so much for taking the time to stop by. You did great. First time ever on Build.
Thank you. You're a great host. You don't even have a piece of paper or anything.
Thank you. You know what? I've been told that sometimes I resemble Ryan Seacrest when I do this.
I thought you were going to say you put your notes on the bottom of your shoe.
No.
Honestly?
I know hosts that write on themselves.
You know what? I got to admit something.
What's
in Spanish
up?
class,
Yeah?
don't cheat, guys. But like, I put all the answers on the bottom of my shoe one time.
Damn.
And I was just like this. I couldn't pass Spanish, guys. I still passed with like a C-. So like, give me a break.
I like that you were really nervous about admitting that Kermit the Frog is in fact controlled by puppet masters and breaking that news, but you're like coming forthright about cheating in school. That's great.
Don't cheat in school unless you really, really have to. I'm kidding.
All right. Anything else you want to just plug really quick here in addition to the album, because we are loving the new album and it's out.
Yeah, thank you. I heard it playing when I came in and it was so cool.
Yeah.
No, this has been so much fun. It's always fun to just like sit down and talk about random stuff. And thank you guys for coming today. This was a lot of fun.
Great.
Hope I can come back sometime.
I hope so too. Guys, one more time, Maddie Poppe.